Change and love can go, but tell me why are you so cold? What did I wrong? What was the fault? Or what you say is I don't know. Feelings change and love can go, but tell me why are you so cold? What did I wrong? What was the fault? I thought that you loved me, I thought that you needed me till you end up all this way.
Test. Test. Yo, welcome everyone. My name is VB Thomas and I'll be commentating the OMR race today in Austria. It is going to be season 2, if I'm not mistaken, round 13 of the Austrian Grand Prix. This is a new league that I'll be doing for the next couple of weeks, hopefully. We've got 13 people in, 14 people, so that should give some great bangs for tonight. I hope everyone is going to enjoy the stream, hopefully. I guess I'll have to wait and see. For that, of course, track map is going to be open, and also the lap data, of course. So Austria, a very good track to race on. A lot of good overtaking opportunities. Turn 1 is quite of a risky one, but it works if you can make it around down the inside or around the outside. You have a lot of runaway room, so it should be good. Turn 2 is a little bit of a, it's not really a corner. And then you've got turn 3, which is going to be that 100 degrees corner. A little bit uphill and then downhill again, so it's quite of a tricky one, but usually there shouldn't be a problem. We do tend to see a couple of dive bombs into that corner, but then in turn 4, a good overtaking opportunity. Actually, around Austria, I think there's a lot of good overtaking opportunities. We will be going on with a lap with Mr. Gas here. Gas racing for, if I'm not mistaken, team. I'll have to have a quick look, guys. It's just... Wait, it's on my thing. Team Cooper. So we've got 5 different teams here in OMR. It's a little bit of a different format that most leagues are using. Usually they're using the Haas cars and the Aston Martin cars. Well, not this league. They're going to be using 5 different constructors with 1 team leader. So we've got Team Cooper. We have got Team Guppy or Guppy or whatever. We've got Team Witterick, we've got Team Kelly, and we've got the easiest one, Team Green, who's running in a green car. So that's quite, easy to memorize. So we're going to go on a lap with Mr. Gas C7 here, coming around the last corner, a little bit of a downhill corner, and then we're going to go down the main straight. DRS wide open for the Team Cooper driver. Now heading into turn 1, takes a lot of curb on the exit. Beautifully done, takes a lot of curb down the inside. That will definitely gain him some time through that first sector, heading into turn 2, into turn 3 as we're heading into sector 2, as he wants to nail as much curb on the exit as possible. And will he be able to do that? Touches the curb a little bit too much, almost loses the car, but rotates quite nicely through that part of the track as he's heading into turn 4 at the moment. We're almost through sector 2 already, so that's how quick things go here in Austria. Kind of a U-turn, and then we're heading into turn 6 and 7, and then we're heading into sector 3, of course. So a very fast track. We are going to be seeing a 1-4-0s or low 1-4s at least into turn 8, into turn 9 at the moment. Once there's as many curb as possible down the inside there, then we've got those two fast right-handers where you can easily lose your car going onto the curb. Team Cooper was trying to do that there, Mr. Gas, as we've got a 1.5.3 from Simon. He's currently in P1. He's racing for either the purple team or the red team. I'm not really sure. I think it's a purple team, as that is going to be Team Guppy. So Gas just came across the line with a 1.5.4. We might want to go on board with some other guys here. For Team Witterick, we've got Ferris Wyatt in P13 still, but still a lot of guys have not come across the line, so they won't be able to put a qualifying lap on the board yet. Ferris Wyatt coming through turn 8, touches as many curb as he can, but he invalidates, unfortunately, as that unfortunately won't be a good qualifying lap for the Team Witterick drivers. So as Badger from Team Cooper heading into sector 3 at the moment, as he takes that turn quite tight, which is quite nice. There's just as many curb as possible. Goes onto the throttle quite faster. Beautifully done by S. Badger. Is he going to be the one putting himself on pole for Team Cooper? No, it's going to be Simon once again with another lap. A 1.4.9, and he... Oh! S. Badger, he invalidates his lap coming through the last corner. It would have been a 1.5.5. That would have been a P3 if I'm not mistaken. Right behind his team is Gas, and right in front of his teammate Kenboy. So we might want to go on board with Coops himself here. Team Cooper, obviously, the team leader. Currently still hasn't put a qualifying lap on the board, as he's heading into sector 3 with the fastest second sector. Will it be an improvement for Coops? Heading into sector 3, one of the most trickiest ones, because you need to be as fast as possible through these fast right-handers, but usually the guys tend to be a little bit careful through those corners, especially coming through there, because you can easily invalidate. A 1.4.4 for Coops, puts himself on pole for now, but still a lot of guys to come across the line, including Ferris Wyatt. A 1.6.3 will definitely be going for another one, although he doesn't have the ERS left, so he won't be able to go for another one. Kelly Kidd is the championship leader, and he invalidates coming through the last corner. It would have been a 1.4.5, which would have put him in P2. And apparently Douglas is the one to watch here in Austria, as I don't see him in the lobby. Oh no, he's in P7. I think he crashed out. So he will be starting from the back of the grid. There we go. Already a DNF, or whatever we should call it. Is Kelly Kidd going for another one? He invalidated that last corner, so he won't be able to improve here and put a qualifying lap, because when you invalidate in the last corner, the next lap will be invalidated too, because you can basically gain some time coming through that corner to have more straight line speed, or whatever you want to call it. So Kelly Kidd will have to come into the pits, put on some new rubbers. They still have 12 more minutes to go in the qualifying, as Sneaky Loser's still in the pit. What will Badger be doing here? He's going to go for another one. Doesn't have too much ERS safe, so I don't think it will be too much of an improvement for the Team Cooper driver, as he's heading into turn 6 and 7 at the moment. Takes it a little bit wide. Might have costed him a couple of hundreds. Wants to touch as many curb as possible. Almost loses the car there, as Badgers again invalidates coming through turn 8. Or was it turn 9? I'm not 100% sure. But he'll have to come into the pits. Those softs are out of well, they're not worth going for another lap for anymore. Blackout is a driver from Team Green. It was the easiest team and I forgot their name. So Blackout is one of the 2 drivers from Team Green. They should have had 4 drivers on the grid today, but apparently they don't. They only have 2 drivers. So does Team Purple, which is going to be Team Guppy. And I don't think Guppy himself is in the lobby at the moment. He's only, well, I don't see him anywhere. Oh, we've got Douglas also from Team Guppy. So we've got 3 drivers from Team Guppy. So a couple of drivers are missing. 1 from the red team, 1 from the orange team. No, the orange team is complete. 2 from the green team. And I think 2 from the white team. So that is going to be Team Witterick, of course. Blackout not coming around the last corner. As will that be an improvement? It should be. He hasn't put a time on the board yet. And it will be a 1.6.7, which will be P7 for Mr. Blackout. Still a lot of guys out on track, but also a couple of guys in the pits. Kenboy invalidated, unfortunately, but will he be going for another one? He's got a lot of ERS saved, so it should be that time of the qualifying where he's hopefully going to put himself on pole. I'm not sure if he's the driver who's going to be able to do that. Takes a lot of slipstream there from the Team Witterick driver. I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to happen. And here comes Kenboy coming through sector 1. He's already up by 1/10. And he's also got the fastest first sector, so he just needs to improve a little bit more here in sector 2 and sector 3, and then he will be able to put himself on pole, crown himself the pole taker here in Austria, as the teammate of Mr. Kenboy goes on the gravel quite nicely there. Needs to watch out for that white car, as Kenboy is improving by 4/10. That would definitely put him on pole for now, as it seems like that orange team is definitely taking some big steps going into the rest of the race. You know, they've got 3 drivers in the top 5, so they're going to be scoring a lot of points if they can keep this pace through the race. He improved by 5/10, puts himself in P3. Oh, he had a 1.5 point something. I thought he had a 1.4 point something. All right, fair enough. Coop's still in pole with a 1.4.4, so you might want to go on board with Sneaky Loser or maybe Low Pro. This Low Pro is on a fast one at the moment. And the red car driver, beautiful livery, I do have to say that. Look at that. Sexy car. That's what I would say to the Alfa Romeo, but unfortunately there is no Alfa Romeo on the grid anymore, so I'm going to start crying. It's become a Kick Sauber, for the ones who didn't know yet, a full green car. Well, not fully green, but that doesn't matter too much. Low Pro coming around the last corner. Takes as much curb on the exit as possible, as it is going to be a 1.6.6 to put himself in P9, lowest out of everyone who is qualified already. Kelly Kid, who should, you know, carry the team to hopefully another win, because he is so far ahead of the rest of the grid based on driver standings. So as you can see on the right side here above me, you're able to see the driver standings, and Kelly Kid has so many points ahead of the other driver. Coops improves by another couple of hundreds. A 1.4.4. I think he had a 1.4.4 before, but I could be wrong. Kelly Kid coming around the last corner. This will definitely be an improvement, possibly a pole time. Is he going to come across the line? Yes, indeed he is. A 1.4.4, so close to Coops. Only 100ths away from the Team Cooper driver, and it is going to be Team Kelly putting themselves on pole for now. Let's have a quick look with Sneaky Loser at the moment, as he's also on a fast lap. He's improving by 1.5 seconds, as that will possibly put himself somewhere around, let me have a quick think, around P4, around P5, somewhere around there. Maybe he can improve a little bit more here coming through that last corner. It will be a 1.5.2, as that will be a P6 for Team Kelly. Let's have a quick look with Ferris Wyatt here. He doesn't seem to be improving. 9 seconds slower, so will he be saving some ERS? He doesn't have any ERS left, so he'll have to come into the pits. Has to watch out for the drivers behind him, but nobody is behind him, so he doesn't need to worry too much. Sneaky Loser, is he once again on fast lap? Don't think so. Simon Jr., he's coming into the pits. And I think Spanner is on an night lap, so he will be going on to a fast lap pretty soon. I'm just gonna check out the messenger. If I'm missing anything, I don't think so. I don't think so. So coming through the last couple of corners goes Spanner and the Team Witterick driver. I mean, Team Witterick is not doing too good in the Constructors' Championship. As you can see right above me, we're all the way in P5 out of the 5 drivers. So I'm afraid they're gonna have to do some crazy things during the rest of the season to be able to put themselves somewhere in the top position. But for now, Team Kelly is looking absolutely amazing with Team Green right on their heels. You know, we've got Team Cooper in P3. Cooper and his team, we're going to be scoring a lot of points, but also Team Kelly currently in P1, P4, and P6. So both teams have a minimum of 3 drivers, and then we've got, of course, Team Cooper who are going to be scoring another couple of points because of that 4 driver. Then unfortunately, I mean, the Team Witterick and Team Green only have 2 drivers, which is quite unfortunate. I think Maza is trying to get into the lobby, but he doesn't manage to do so. I think he left the lobby again. I could be wrong. But here comes Spanner on his fast lap. I think this might be a very fast lap too, although coming through that last corner, and he invalidates. We see this happen too often around Austria, where drivers invalidate their laps. He's just going to use some DRS at the moment, but I don't think he was improving anyway. Dan, or is that Dan, or how should I pronounce that? Is it Dan? Is he Dutch? Daniel? I don't know. I can't look at this name and say this is it. You know, I'll have to have someone telling me what kind of name that is. But if it's a Dutch one, it's Dan. So for now, I'm gonna say Dan. So Dan on a fast lap, and he's got a couple of guys behind him, so he definitely needs to make sure that he doesn't end up in traffic. Mainly because when he's gonna go in an in lap again, and you know the guys behind him were in a night lap, currently on a fast lap. Well, are going to go on a fast lap. He needs to watch out that he's not going to cause any trouble for those guys. But he was up on his time by quite a bit, if I'm not mistaken. He had the fastest second sector, and he's coming around the last corner at the moment. Will it be an improvement? Yes, it will be, but what time will he be putting on the board? A 1:4.7 puts himself on 4th position for Team Guppy. Or Gappy. Oh, and he goes into the wall. Broken front wing. I think he touched the curb a little bit too much. Just crashed into the wall. Is that on purpose? I wouldn't say so. A lot of guys at the back of the grid also on the fast lap, including Maza. So Maza, who hasn't set a qualifying lap yet, together with Douglas, but Douglas isn't going to be able to improve anymore. So Maza coming around the 2nd corner, well, 3rd corner actually, heading into sector 2, and we've got that turn 4, good overtaking opportunity. You might be seeing a couple of moves through that part of the track here. Sector 2, I would say one of the best overtaking sectors on the track. I don't think Sector 3 is a very good overtaking opportunity, or like sector, neither is Sector 1, because you've only got turn 1, and then you've got the DRS straight. I mean, obviously the DRS straight is always going to be a good overtaking opportunity, but you know, corner-wise, it's not going to be great. Maza coming around the last couple of corners at the moment. Will it be an improvement? It will be, but it won't be pole time, I'm afraid. A 1.3, a 1.4, a 1.5, a 1.5.4 puts himself in P9, and the grid is very great at the moment. Cooper puts himself on pole for now. A 1.4.4, 1.4.3 in a matter of fact, with only 2 more minutes on the table. Let's have a quick look what Simon is going to do. Is he going to go for another one? He's got some ERS saved on these used soft tires as he's coming through Sector 1 at the moment, going into Sector 2. We might want to look with broadcast mode. Not up on his time, 19,000 slower than his previous lap, but he will be able to use DRS at the moment. He was able to use DRS too during his previous lap, but he will be doing that now too. And maybe with a good exit coming through sector turn 3, he would have had a little bit more straight line speed coming through that second straight, where there's actually 3 DRS opportunities here around Austria, isn't there? I think. Oh, and there goes Simon off track. He won't be able to improve anymore, I'm afraid. So we might want to go on board with someone else. Kelly, he might be up for pole. He's one of the faster drivers on the grid. I can assure you that looking at the Drivers' Championship. But, I mean, Kelly, he's fast, but he hasn't got pole yet. He needs to improve by almost 1/10. He's not improving in Sector 1, but Sector 1 is only one corner, so there's not much to gain. So Sector 2 is where you need to gain a lot of time, and so is Sector 3. I would say Sector 1 is most important during the race, but Sector 2 and Sector 3 are the most important ones during the qualifying, and especially Sector 3. As you can see, those fast right-handers, you're really losing a lot of time through there if you don't nail the curbs down the inside. Improving by 1/10, it won't be enough for Kelly, so he needs to do something here in Sector 3. Kelly coming around the last couple of corners for his final qualifying lap. He's draining all of the ERS he's got around the last corner. He's gonna try and almost invalidates there. That was really close. A 1.4.3 for Kelly Kid. Puts himself on pole by only 11 thousandths. That is crazy. Blackout at the moment on a fast lap, but I don't think he will be improving as he's going quite slow. Ferry's Wyatt across the line and not improving. Spanner seems to be improving. Is he draining all of his ERS? Does look like it. Coming through Sector 2 into Sector 3. And he wants to nail this curb as much as possible. Doesn't do so. Goes a little bit too deep into that corner. And you know, touching that corner during the race is not usually what you want to do. Touching that curb down the inside, because that's just going to launch your car in the wall. Spanner coming around the last corner. Down the straight he goes, not improving. And there's only 2 more drivers who will be able to improve. Gaz is coming into the pits. Kenboy, what will he be doing? He's not going too fast either. So that will be your qualifying. Guys, I'll be right back in a second. I just need to do something really quick. Oh, and the qualifying is not over yet, apparently. That's pretty interesting. I thought Ferris Wyatt was done with his qualifying lap. Let's have a quick look. He's not improving, 30 seconds slower. So that won't be an improvement, I'm afraid. He's coming back into the pits. It would have been better if he just came across the line, because then, I mean, it takes less time to cross the line instead of coming into the pits, but I guess it is what it is. Right, so a very exciting qualifying already. Look at that pole time. Compared to P2, only 11 thousandths between the both of them. Kelly Kid in P1, Coops in P2. As I'm just trying to figure out if the owner of the league is actually driving too. I'm pretty sure his team is called Team Guppy, as his name is Sam Guppy, if I'm not mistaken. But they're not doing too best in the Constructors' Championship, so it would have been better if he was here, because then he would have been scoring some points for the team, but unfortunately he isn't. And here we've got the standings, the results, and the pole time for Kelly Kid in P1, a 1.4.3, only 11 thousandths behind him is Coops, and then in P3 we've got Simon Jr. Further we've got Don, Low Pro, Sneaky Loser, Kenboy, Gas, Mazza, Spanner, Ferris Wyatt, as Badger, Blackout, and then Douglas, who wasn't able to qualify at all. He's the only one who hasn't set a time, so that's very unfortunate. We still have 20 more seconds to go, and I'm really wondering how many safety cars we will be having, because Austria usually a one where there's a couple of guys crashing out, but I'm not sure if that's going to cause any safety cars. Usually it's just either a DNF or just a broken front wing. And when it's a broken front wing, they usually tend to stay in the pits instead of staying out of the pits. But I mean, it depends every race. Sometimes the safety car, the stewards say, oh, we want to throw out the safety car every damn crash, every damn broken front wing, every damn scratch. And then the other race, they're saying like, oh, fuck this, the safety car is sleeping at the moment. So, yeah, you know, you never know what to expect with the safety car here during the game. They've also announced the F124 game. I'm not too sure if you guys are going to buy that one, but it's a pretty good game. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a copy-paste from the F123 game. I'm not a racer myself, so I'm not too sure how the handling system of the F123 game is. But from my experience, I've done a couple of TTs, time trials, and it feels more smooth than the 2022 game. But I guess we'll have to see and see what the F124 game will be. It will definitely be a copy-paste, but it is what it is. We've got a formation lap at the moment, so we will be able to see what tires everyone is running tire-wise. We're looking at softs for Kelly Kidd. Very interesting approach from the Team Kelly driver. Then all the way at the back of the grid, we've got Douglas also starting on the softs, wanting to gain some positions during that first lap. And that's where you need to be if you want to run the soft tires. You know, all the way at the back of the grid, all the guys in front of you are running slower tires, such as the mediums. So during that first half lap, you're going to be gaining about 2 or 3, 4, or maybe even 5 positions. Depends on how chaotic the grid is usually. Now we've got Kenboy on the hard tires. He's the only one starting on hard, so he doesn't think there's going to be an early safety car. Usually the guys who go for soft tires around Austria, they think there's going to be an early safety car. I think soft hards would work if there's an early safety car, but I think the guys starting on the mediums are definitely in the best books, because if there would be an early safety car, the guys on the mediums could still come into the pits going on to the hards or medium softs, and the guys on the softs would have to go for medium, or hards, but you never know if there's going to be a second safety car. So it's a very interesting grid, I do have to say that. All the guys on the mediums, except for 3 drivers, so 11 guys on the mediums. It's a bold strategy. Starting on the soft, on the harder tires is usually better than starting on the soft tires. Depends on whether there's a safety car, as I said before. But the guys on the soft tires, we will definitely have to take a look at them. Kelly Kidd is just going to run away. And then we've got Douglas, who is just going to gain some positions, I'd assume. Possibly Kenboy, who's going to drop back a couple of positions, because all the guys behind him are on the medium tire, so the faster tire. And the guys in front of him are on the faster tire, so he won't be gaining any time on those guys, and he will be losing time on the guys behind him. So I'm interested to see how this is going to play out. Usually, with a lot of guys running the same strategy right behind each other, we will be seeing just 2 or 3 drivers gaining some positions. But I'm not sure if that's the case here too in OMR. I guess we'll have to wait and see. We've got everyone lining up on the grid. And guys, we're currently here with OMR Season 2, Round 13 of the Austrian Grand Prix. We've got 5 red lights here on a Wednesday. It's very long. And off we go! Why do we have such a bad view? I'm not too sure. A very good start from Kelly Kidd there, as it seems like Don is almost going to try and down the inside, but he doesn't make to do so. Here comes Sneaky Loser, goes off grid a little bit there. Mazza, who's making the overtake on the Team Cooper driver. Here comes Kenboy around the outside on the hard tires, and he's gonna gain that position. Mazza leaving enough space for Mr. Kenboy to make the overtake. And it doesn't look like Douglas gained too many positions going on those soft tires. Badger, who's gaining a position, making the overtake on Spanner here all the way in P11. And let's go back to the front of the grid at the moment, as it seems like all things have been quite clear in Sector 1, heading into Sector 3 at the moment. And no crash has been found yet, has been caused yet. Douglas, who's on those soft tires, unfortunately is not going to gain too much positions. He's all the way at the back of the grid at the moment, but he might be able to benefit from those soft tires later during this race. Coops right behind Kelly Kidd. He's able to keep the toe of the Team Kelly driver for now, but I don't think that will last too long. As you can see, Kelly coming through that last sector, he's gaining a little bit of time, a 1:09.5. We will definitely be seeing that time change throughout the race, as the guys will be on faster tire at the end of the race. And also it's just it's sort of a formation lap, not really, but sort of, you know. It's the first lap, so the guys are not going to be able to show full potential, because the race start is also included in that time. Doesn't really matter too much, as it seems like everyone is just driving behind each other in the train, and this is what we love to see. Everyone running the same cars, like the same, you know, speed and all that kind of stuff. So usually we will be seeing a lot of guys trying to, as it seems like there's a little bit of chaos here. Spanner down the inside, and also Badger is trying to make a move down the inside of Ferry Swat. Ferry Swat who goes onto the gravel and loses a couple of positions. Blackout and Douglas can benefit from that, as it seems like as Badger is trying to find his way around Spanner, coming through Sector 2 into Sector 3 at the moment, and will Spanner be able to keep this position? Doesn't look like it. Badger with a good exit coming through turn 8, heading into turn 9 and 10, as it seems like there's a crash. Blackout out of the race. Not really, he's just in the gravel or in the wall, I'm not 100% sure, but Kelly Kid puts himself with the fastest lap at the moment. You might want to go on board again with Coops, who's all the way in P2, and we've seen not too much action in sector, well, in the first few positions, but Coops is able to keep that P2 strong. Mazza, who's currently in a P8 and making the overtake on Kenboy. Or did Kenboy make that overtake? It seems like Kenboy made that overtake. So being on the hard tires seems to be a little bit better than... Oh, my days, I'm missing everything. Here comes Gas around the outside of Mazza, making the overtake. Beautifully done by Gas, but it seems like Mazza is not giving up. He's not giving up. He wanted to go down the inside, but the room was not there. And it is Gas keeping that position. Seems like Team Cooper didn't have a great start here during this Grand Prix. Let me have a quick look with the position changes. They didn't really lose too many positions, but I thought they qualified a little bit better, if I'm being honest. They were looking very strong. It seems like Ferris Wyatt is making the overtake on Douglas, if I'm not mistaken, all the way in P12. Gas now needs to keep that Team Green driver right behind him. Or is Gas going to make the overtake? Yes, indeed he is. Down the inside he goes. Beautifully done by Gas. And I'm pretty sure his teammate will leave enough space for him to get past. But now the guys will have DRS right behind him. So Kenboy needs to do something to keep that Team Green driver behind him. They're going 3 wide into turn 3. Into turn 3 they go. And Mazza gains 2 positions. Down the inside he goes. Not too much room given to Kenboy. And Gas will benefit from that. Gas will benefit from that. DRS wide open, as he might be going down the inside. No, it is going to be Kenboy down the inside. Both the Team Cooper drivers will be going for a move. Gas down the inside of his own teammate, almost spins him out. But both Team Cooper drivers are now making the overtake on Mazza again, as it is chaos here in Sector 2 at the moment. Spanner also making the overtake on S Badger, although they're going side by side through that difficult part of the track, heading into Sector 3, as it will be S Badger making the overtake, as Douglas keeps enough space for him to get past. Blackout making the overtake, as it seems like Ferris Wyatt crashed out of the race, unfortunately. Let's go back to P2, and Cooper holding up strong, 3/10 behind Kelly Kid. And there's still 31 more laps to go during this Austrian Grand Prix. Also, Simon is right on the tail of his teammate. DRS wide open. Will he be going around the outside? Yes, indeed he will. He might be having a little bit more pace than his teammate, but he keeps it behind. Although he goes around the outside. Dom trying to make the overtake. No, it's Simon trying to make the overtake. Dom in a P3 at the moment. And Low Pro is trying to make the overtake on a boat. Team Guppy drivers, but it seems like it's a little bit too difficult for Low Pro to make the overtake already. So might be going back to P8, as Mazza is right behind Gas, and it seems like an up and down battle, an up and down switch between these 3 drivers. Sometimes it's Gas in P7, then it's Mazza in P8, Kenboy in P7. You know, it switches up and down, but it seems like Mazza is trying to find his way around the Team Cooper driver. And he's right on the tail of that orange car at the moment. Around the outside he goes. He's not going to make that move through that part of the track. I think he is trying to make a switchback work. Oh, and there's damage, I think. Broken front wing from the green driver. And unfortunately, he'll have to come into the pits. Let's have a quick look with Simon here. He's on the tail of his teammate. Will he be making that move once again? Blackout with the first penalty of the race. And here comes Simon down the inside. His teammate is not leaving too much room and is not giving up that position for free. Low Pro might be able to benefit from that mistake from both those drivers, because they're not really working together with each other, are they? There should be one driver keeping up Low Pro and the other driver trying to, you know, gain points for the team and trying to... Oh, and there goes Simon in the wall. Does he have a broken front wing? Apologies, guys. My microphone got disconnected for a bit. Let's go back to Cooper. He is right on the tail of Kelly Kid, but he has yet to make an overtake. And there seems to be some heavy battles going on here in Sector 3, as that will be Simon getting chased from behind by Gaz, and also Kenboy is trying to find his way around his teammate to make the overtake on Simon, but he's 1.2 seconds behind, so I don't think he will be able to make that move anytime soon. Mazda coming into the pits, obviously, because he's got a broken front wing. And as things are looking like right now, it is definitely looking great for Team Kelly, as they've got drivers in P1, P4, and P5 at the moment. Kelly Kid just being very consistent on those soft tires. He'll have to come into the pits around lap 12 to 15, if I'm not mistaken, and then be going on to the medium tires. But I'm not sure if you're going to be able to make those soft medium tires work. It seems like Spanner is on the tail of Kenboy. Let's have a quick look at that right on the nose, well, on the tail of the Team Cooper driver as they're heading into Sector 3. As I said before, as I said every lap, heading into Sector 3 definitely carries some risk with it. Because here's the thing, if you make a move through this part of the track, you're just going to go onto the curb and spin into the wall. If you make a move through the next part of the track, so this one, turn 9 and 10, you're also going to spin into the wall if you touch the curb too aggressively, and you're going to cause some damage. It seems like Kelly. No, it's Low Pro. No, it's Kelly. Oh, what happened here? Kelly dropping back to P4, possibly P5. Too much pressure on the shoulders of the Team Kelly driver, and Ferris Wyatt retired in the pit lane. No, he didn't retire in the pit lane. I think he crashed in the pit lane. He crashed in the pit lane because there's a safety car out on track, and that will be the first safety car of tonight. Who will come into the pits? Possibly the soft tire runners. So I'm just going to have a quick look on Discord. I've got quite a few messages. I'm not sure who's sending me messages. It doesn't really matter too much, if I'm being honest. So people are sending me friend requests, and I'm not sure what is happening here. So let's just focus on the race and see who's coming into the pits. Possibly Coops. He is on the medium tires at the moment, and he will indeed be coming into the pits. But what tire will he be going on? Mediums? Oh, and a drive-through penalty for speeding under the pit lane. That is very, very bad for Cooper at the moment. He will be very frustrated with that penalty. Don coming into the pits. Loprain coming into the pits. Sneaky Loser coming into the pits. Kelly coming into the pits. And they have to be lucky with the people coming into the pits, because sometimes you can have a double stack. And that's the side effect of running player cars. So let's have a quick look here. The red team, I think they will have a double stack, won't they? Oh, no. Kelly Kid. Oh, he will have a double stack. Oh, that is very bad. Look at that. Oh, and another drive-through penalty for Mazda MC. As Mazda is all the way in P13. Kenboy has to replace the front wing. I think a lot of guys have to replace the front wing. And Kelly Kid drops back to P8. And guys are now right behind the safety car. So we're just going to have a little break here before we're heading back into action. All right, guys, we're back at it again. I think we will be having one more safety car lap before everyone is behind the safety car. So I'm just going to get a tissue because I need to blow my nose real quick. I'll just play some music for you guys so you can, enjoy the beautiful music, hopefully, if you think it is beautiful. I'm not sure. Probably not, but it's some, regular music that they always use during these kind of live streams. So I'll be right back, guys.
I go down to the river and I think about the things that I've done wrong. Things that I've done wrong. Shouldn't have done that, shouldn't have said this. I had, you wouldn't be someone I miss. And all the tables, they keep turning, all the rope I held is burning, and I know I shouldn't have let go. And my hands are getting tired, but I started this fire. And my hands are getting tired, but I started this fire.
I'm not able to scroll through the drivers, so I'm not sure what's happening here. No idea what's happening. I think this is some kind of feature. Wait, hold up. I need to disable the music again. So I have no idea what's happening here because I'm not able to scroll through the drivers, so it's just broadcast mode. But I don't like that mode, to be honest. So the guys are not able to control their cars at the moment. Safety car is in this lap. So they will be able to take control of their car again. And it will be Cooper leading the pack with 3 drivers of his team in the top 4. And we've got Kenboy all the way in P10. So let's have a quick look. Coop already has that drive-through penalty. So he'll have to race 1 lap, then come into the pits, and then drop quite a few positions. And he's already going for it. We've got green flags and go, go, go. It seems like Gas is keeping some kind of space to his teammate at the moment. He will have troubles with keeping Don behind him. The DRS will not be enabled, I'm afraid. It will only be for 2 or more laps right behind that safety car. As it seems like Don already made the overtake. Did Gas make a move? Well, make a mistake there. I'm not 100% sure. We've got a good overtaking opportunity here for pro loser, a sneaky loser, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Was it Kelly Kidd trying to go down the inside? He makes the overtake on Simon Jr. Beautiful move there from the Team Kelly driver. Simon Jr., obviously, he's not going to be happy with that. Wants to make the overtake again through turn 4. Was looking down the inside, but decided to back out of it. Very risky move to make a dive bomb from that far. And luckily, he didn't do it. As it seems like Kenboy trying to go around Simon Jr. He's right on that tail of the Team Guppy driver. And he's dropped 2 positions too. Kelly Kidd has dropped 6. We've got Simon dropping 5. So I'm just wondering what tires everyone is on. So Coops has gone on to medium. So did Don. Then we've got Cass, Badger not coming into the pits. They're currently on 11-lap-old mediums. It seems like it's a little bit chaos here. Kelly Kidd up into P6, making the overtake, and there's a lot of chaos. Seems like Kenboy making the overtake on Simon too. As Gas has got a 3-second time penalty at the moment, unfortunately. Here they come. It's Team Kelly versus Team Cooper. Oh, and what's happening here? I'm totally missing everything. Oh, and it is the Team Kelly drivers taking each other out. I think Kelly tapped the rear of a low pro. And Gaz is taking P3. And now, look at that. We've got 4 drivers of Team Cooper in the top 4. While it wasn't looking very good for Team Cooper, and Team Kelly had 4 drivers in the top 6, if I'm not mistaken. It looks like the roles have reversed. 4 drivers of Team Cooper in the top 6 at the moment. Kelly Kidd is on the tail of Gas, though, but I think Gas will try and keep that driver behind him for as long as possible because, you know, Coops has got that drive-through penalty, so he'll have to come into the pits in the next lap. But he's trying to create some kind of gap to the guys behind him as fast as possible. And here comes Kelly Kidd with a good exit coming around that last corner. Oh, and someone goes onto the grass. What is happening here? 3 wide coming through turn 1. Hopefully no crashes. Doesn't look like it. And Gas is backing out of the move. Now they've switched positions, both of the Team Kelly drivers. Now Kenboy will try and keep it difficult for Kelly Kidd, currently in P4, doesn't have a single penalty, is on fresh medium tires, but will he be able to finish the race on those medium tires? Gas going a little bit off track there, might get overtaken by his teammate, and yes indeed, as Badger up into P5, also getting overtaken from Sneaky Loser up into P6, and Gas, takes out his teammate, pushes him all the way wide, not sure why he did that for, but Badger is back 2P9. Oh, and terminal damage, I think, from someone. No, Douglas crashed out. And Badger crashed out too. Safety car, another safety car here in OMR. And that is very unfortunate, of course. And nothing we can do about that. So we just need to enable the game sound again. So I'm really wondering if anyone else is coming into the pits. Coops cannot come into the pits to serve his penalty. So he'll have to lead the safety car for another couple of laps. And wait, intermediates? Will it be raining? Don going on to the intermediates? That is a very what? I'm confused. Intermediates for Don. Will anyone else be going on to the intermediates? Gas goes on to the soft tires. Oh, almost going to the back of Douglas there. But he was ghosting, so that's quite nice. So Don, the only one on the intermediates at the moment. Simon is coming to the pits, going to the soft tires. Badger, who has to replace his front wing, will be going on to the medium tires. So is Don the only one with a bold strategy? It seems to be raining already. Don has gone for the right strategy. They can now close the gap to the safety car. Oh, and Simon also going on to the intermediates. So bold strategy from Team Guppy. Will that place them in P1 and P2 again? I'm not 100% sure. Simon still has to come into the pits, and the rest of the drivers are already in Sector 3. Well, they're currently entering Sector 3, so Team Guppy and not doing a bad job at all. Douglas still on those soft tires, but how long and how hard will it be raining for? It seems like the rain is already coming out of the sky quite harsh. Oh, look at that. Will the track be getting wet pretty soon? I think around Austria that is quite common. It's a bit like Belgium, not as aggressive as Belgium, because in Belgium, you know, the track gets very, very, very slippery, very wet. In only half a lap, 1 lap, doesn't really matter how many laps. But I'm not sure about Austria. I think the track is not really heated up that much because the sun doesn't shine on the track that often, and you know, it also depends on what kind of dirt is on the track. So if there's a lot of dirt and there's a lot of, like, you know, not asphalt, but the things that come off the tire, like rubber. I'm not sure if there's a lot of rubber on track, that the track gets very slippery quite fast. So as Badger on the medium tires, he is making the overtake on quite a few drivers. Spanner right on his tail. But a couple of guys have come into the pits to go onto the intermediate tires already. It doesn't look like the top 4 has decided to come into the pits to go onto the intermediates. Is that a bold strategy? I would say so. If you can see that it's raining quite heavy already. I'm not sure how long it will be raining for, but definitely a bold strategy, staying out of the pits. They will not lose too many positions doing that. They will actually gain positions, but they will be losing positions during the race. As you can see, the rain is getting heavier with the minute. And a couple of guys actually with a penalty. Let's focus on that real quick. So penalty-wise, we've got a drive-through for Coops. We've got 3 seconds for Blackout. We've got 3 seconds for Gas. We've got 3 seconds for Kenboy and 3 seconds for a Badger. So all the drivers from Team Cooper have a penalty. So that's not really well done, choosing his teammates, Mr. Cooper there. You know, everyone has got a penalty from his teammates, so they can better call themselves Team Penalty instead of Team Cooper. But it is what it is, you know, it is what it is. Safety car staying out for 1 more lap as Douglas still needs to catch up to the safety car. And we're just chilling at the moment. Another couple of guys coming into the pits, possibly a Maza. No, he's not staying out. Well, he is staying out. A couple of other guys coming into the pits, including... let me have a quick look. Kenboy, Badger. Those guys coming into the pits, possibly to go on to the intermediates. So let's have a quick look with the tires. Intermediate time for Kenboy, Gas, and Douglas. They've dropped back all the way to the back of the grid. I think Douglas is coming into the pits again. Not sure what he's done that for. Might have had a broken front wing, or his front wing might have not been replaced during his last safety car pit stop. But yeah, I mean, 20 more laps to go. We still have more than half the race to cover. So there's still plenty of action on track at the moment. I'm just going to check my phone real quick to check the messenger things here. Not anymore. There was a vote midweek. Fair enough. So we will be having safety car again. I've got quite a couple of... 1 second, guys. All right. So safety car will come into the pits. We've got green flags pretty soon. 17 out of the 36 laps at the moment. So I'm just going to have a quick look with the position changes. So Blackout going on to, well, staying out on the mediums. He will be gaining 10 positions off that, but I'm not sure if that is going to be for lasting for too long, you know. Let's have a quick look here. Coming around the last corner goes Mr. Coops. And he's got Kelly right on his tail. Coops goes already on the medium tires. Will it be slippery? Doesn't look like it. And will the intermediate tires be losing time to the rest of the grid? I definitely think they will be losing time at this point during the race, but I also think they've got one free pit stop. And they don't look to be losing too much time through that first part of the track. Blackout is 1.3 seconds behind Kelly Kid already. So you might want to switch over to the tires. Yo, Shuki. Yo, Elias. Welcome in the chat, guys. And Don making the overtake. It's the first intermediate tire overtake. All right, Shuki. I will. Here comes Don. Sneaky loser. No, it's not sneaky loser. It's Don getting overtaken. No, it's making the overtake on Blackout. It looked like he was going to make the overtake. The race is going pretty fine, Shuki. Thank you for asking. And, you know, it's a new league, so it's just trying to see how the drivers are performing. I don't know everyone out of my head, so just need to do some memorizing. Simon making the overtake on Spanner. But there has been some crashes already, which were quite unfortunate. Camboy trying to go around the outside. Here he comes. He's going to go for it on the intermediate tires, making the overtake around the outside. Cuts off Spanner a little bit. And Sneaky Loser coming into the pits. And also Coops has to come into the pits because he's got that drive-through penalty. Don now on the intermediate tires. It's definitely looking great for the Team Guppy driver. And will that be one of their first race wins of the season? That's not Simon, Shuki. Simon Jr., Simon Jr., Danny inside, and it's once again as battering Kenboy having an incident. I think we've seen that earlier, or was that Gas? I'm not sure. Low Pro making the overtake on Mazza at the moment. Also Canboy making the overtake on S-Badger. It's very unfortunate, Elias, that you're not able to race tomorrow. Oh, damn. My computer is not charging. All right, I'll need to sort that out pretty soon. So Blackout on the tail of Loplo at the moment. As he's almost getting chased from behind. Mazza now making the overtake. Down the inside he goes. Here he comes. Kelly Kid also getting overtaken by Don. And here comes Mazza down the inside. But Simon leaves enough space. Mazza coming into the pit. So is his teammate. As he might have caused his teammate a little bit of a broken front wing. Oh, guys, I need to fix that real quick. My apologies. Hold up. I'm not sure why my computer is doing that. Like, sometimes it doesn't charge, and it's very frustrating. And I guess it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. Instead of buying a new PC, but, you know, I don't have money to buy a new PC. This should do it. Or it's actually the cable. It's not really my PC, though. Let's go back to Coops, making up a couple of positions. Now made an overtake on S-Badger's teammate. As it seems like Don on those intermediates. Did Kelly come into the pits? Yes, indeed he did. Coops has to come into the pits pretty soon. There's a little bit of chaos here at the back of the grid. Blackout making the overtake on S-Badger. S-Badger is definitely struggling on those mediums at the moment. Kelly Kid in P10. This is not the race he has hoped for. He will be on those fresh intermediates, though. So he can last until the end of the race, which I don't think Don will be able to do, or he'll have to save them a little bit. But Kelly, you know, being on those fresh intermediates, he's got his teammate right in front of him who's also on fresh intermediates. Now we'll go down the inside. Beautiful overtake from Kelly. And Mazza made the overtake on S-Badger. S-Badger crashed, but he's on those medium tires. Cooper now coming into the pits. And he'll be going on to the intermediates. We've got Sneaky Loser trying to keep the tail of his teammate. we will be going back onto broadcaster move. We've got Douglas in P5. Not a bad result from Douglas at the moment. As you know, Douglas being 2.5 seconds behind Kenboy, and I'm not sure whether he's going to be able to keep that time. 2.5 seconds is quite a big of a gap. So he needs to, gain some time to the guy ahead to be able to make an overtake anytime soon. He won't be able to get the help of the DRS because it's raining very heavily. The DRS has been enabled, so the guys won't be able to use DRS. Disabled. Sorry, it's been disabled. Simply because it's too dangerous to use DRS in such rainy conditions. It seems like nobody is within 1 second of each other, so we will be having quite of a boring second half of the race unless someone can definitely gain some time. It seems like Kelly Kid can definitely do that. Down the inside of Spanner he goes, and it seems like that was a very easy move to make. He was already, coming into Sector 3, he was still about 1.5 seconds behind Spanner, and then coming through turn 9 actually, he was already right on the tail of Spanner, and then he made the move in turn 10, so Kelly Kid definitely has got that pace, but we now have to look between Kelly Kid and Gas. Kelly Kid, he's 9 seconds behind Gas at the moment. I guess we'll have to calculate how many more seconds he will be behind Gas into lap 23, as then we've got 13 more laps to go. So we'll have to calculate a little bit whether he gained more than 1 second, whether he lost more than 1 second. We never know. Kelly Kid now gaining 1.5 seconds in half a lap. Well, not even half a lap. It's like one sector. And he's 7.3 seconds behind Gas at the moment. Let's go on board with Douglas, who's gained some time on Kenboy. And Douglas, he was the one to look at, according to someone in the chat. And, Douglas being on those 5-lap-old intermediates right on the tail of Kenboy at the moment. He won't be able to use that DRS like we said before. And Kenboy also has that penalty. Oh, Elias, yeah, I did find someone to do my interview, mate. Thank you very much for asking. You better ask me these questions in DMs because I don't really want to talk about school during an interview, during a race, if I'm being honest. Sneaky loser on the tail of Spanner at the moment. And he will be able to make that overtake. Good exit coming through turn 1. Here comes Sneaky Loser on the tail of Spanner. Around the outside he goes. Won't be able to use DRS like we said before. But he makes that overtake anyway. Spanner loses a position. And also Douglas making the overtake on Kenboy. Kenboy will try to go down the inside. And he goes a little bit too deep. Look at that switchback from a Team Guppy driver. As Simon is still in P3. But he's definitely gaining time to these guys because they're battling in such a heavy way. And Gas is now caught up to those two. Gas on the tail of those two. And it's a three-way battle. And we didn't think that we were going to be seeing that. Neither were we going to be seeing a three-way battle here. Might have been what might be a four-way battle in the future. Sneaky Loser on the tail of Spanner once again. Elias, you motherfucker. Sneaky Loser now on the tail of Spanner. 4 10s between those two. Sneaky Loser is on the fresher intermediate, so I think he will be able to make that move anytime soon. Gas now on the tail of his teammate. Won't be able to make that move with a good exit coming through turn 1. He actually makes that move. I think Kenboy let his teammate go through just so they don't lose too much time to Douglas. And Sneaky Loser didn't have a good exit coming through that first corner. So I think he'll have to wait for a couple of more corners before he can actually make that move. Might be in this corner already. He can use that slipstream from Spanner on the tail of the Team Witterick driver. And Kelly Kid has made the overtake on Kenboy. Oh, and the Witterick driver goes too deep. And now Team Green gains a position. That was Blackout. And Spanner. Oh, it's a three-way battle coming into Sector 3. Blackout making the overtake on Spanner. Does Spanner have a broken front wing? I'm not 100% sure. Mazza making the overtake on both of them. As Mazza is currently up into P9. Kelly Kid right on the tail of Gas. Tried to go around the outside. He's going to use a lot of ERS down the straight at the moment. Gas has to lose a position. He's got to yield. And he does indeed yield from that position. Douglas is the one on Kelly's Kid. dead wish at the moment. I mean, not dead wish, but target wish. I don't know, target list. And he's already going to try and make that move. Down the inside goes Kelly Kid. And he makes that overtake. Pushes Douglas a little bit wide. Doesn't leave too much space for the Team Guppy driver to make the overtake. And what will Gas be doing at the moment? Right on the tail of Douglas. As Douglas, I think he gained a lot of positions here during this race. 9, in the matter of fact. And I think he will be able to gain some more positions. Maybe if they can catch up to Simon. But Simon is 9 seconds ahead. Lopro has caught up to Don. So it will be a two-way battle for the lead of the race in a couple of laps. Still 11 more laps to go. They're heading into lap 26 out of the 36. And how long will these intermediate tires be lasting for? It seems like it's slippery already. Will they be going on to the wet tires? That's a good question. Because these guys on the intermediate tires are definitely struggling out here in Austria. And it seems like Gas might be going for it. No, he won't be going for it. Oh, and the Team Guppy driver almost crashed out. That was Douglas. And someone did indeed crash out in Sector 3. That was Blackout, if I'm not mistaken. Badger only in Sector 1, Sector 2 at the moment, as he's 44 seconds behind Blackout. Not too sure what happened there for Badger. Oh, and it's a very close battle here between Gas and Douglas. Gas around the outside. Douglas keeping that position, I think. He's got the inside line, and usually around that turn 3, you want to have the inside line. But, of course, you will be seeing the switchback. Beautiful move there from Gas C7. As, switchback usually works around around turn 3. We've got another yellow flag that will be Blackout coming through turn 1. What will Gas be doing at the moment? Douglas on the tail of Gas, but will he be keeping that toe? I'm not 100% sure, though. And then the way how Gas fights through these corners, how he accelerates, is just absolutely beautiful. He's gained 3 positions. Douglas gained 8 positions. But Douglas still able to keep the toe of that Team Cooper driver at the moment. Look at these cars. They're just so well manufactured. Well, manufactured, that's a little bit, designed from the team members. I think everyone can choose their own livery. They just have to look the same a little bit and use the same color, if I'm not mistaken. Because Douglas' car looks different than Simon Jr. car, and I think Don's car looks a little bit different too. As Lopro apparently has caught up to Don. I'm just going to have a quick sip of water before we're heading into a heated battle. Oh, and once again, Lopro loses some time into Sector 2. So I think Lopro has a lot of straight line speed in his setup. He might be running some lower wings at the moment, where he's going to be able to gain some time through the straights. But then in Sector 2, you're obviously going to lose time through turn 4, through turn 6. And that is, of course, not something you want as a racing driver. But now he will be gaining some time down the straight again. Look at that. Simon coming into the pits, both strategies on 12-lap bolt intermediates, and are these intermediates already done? Lopro gained another couple of tenths down the first straight into turn 2. He lost a couple of tenths. Actually, he drops out of the 1 second, so he won't be having a slipstream as effective as you are within 1 second. Coop's on the tail of Mazda, so he's up for a comeback race, and he will be gaining a position from Simon there. But Simon on those intermediate tires comes out of the pit, so it will be a 3-way battle between Mazda, Simon, and Cooper. And also sneaky loser trying to catch up to these guys. Will it be 3 wide? Cooper will try to go down the inside, but he leaves enough room for Mazda. And that's some beautiful racing from Cooper, I do have to say that. He's the kind of guy, I already see that after one race. He's the kind of guy that leaves enough space for the other guys to, make an overtake on another driver. He doesn't want to rush anything, and that's beautiful to see from Cooper. He's patient, and that's what I really think makes you a racing driver. Just don't rush anything, because that's just going to make you make mistakes, if that makes sense. So Douglas is currently struggling on those 11-lap bolt intermediates. Cooper now around the outside. Is he going to make a two-way move? I do think so. Oh, he goes onto the curb, and there goes Mazda almost into the wall. He loses his car. Why are we looking at that? I don't understand this game, honestly. Oh, why does it always show such weird camera angles? I don't decide that, by the way, guys. If you saw a very weird camera angle, I didn't decide that at all. Coops down the inside. Will he be making the overtake? Possibly he's using a lot of ERS. He's not actually. He's not using any ERS, so it will be a three-way battle for P6 at the moment. Douglas on the oldest tire, 12-lap-old intermediates, and he seems to be struggling through turn 1. Mazda around the outside of Cooper. And it doesn't look like anyone is going to be able to make that move. Maybe Mazda with a deep dive bomb. 3 wide they go. Cooper isn't going to be patient this time around. Mazda around the outside. And Cooper makes the overtake on Douglas. Good exit coming through turn 3. And now has to drain all of his ERS down that second straight. And he will be. He will be, but it looks like Simon has too much. No, Douglas has too much straight line speed. Around the outside he goes. He will have a better exit coming through that part of the track. Goes onto the gravel a little bit, as I think Cooper pushed him wide by a tiny bit, which made him slow down on the gravel. Now he dropped back to P8, so Cooper up into P6 without a single penalty. So he will not be gaining time to Gas, but I think they caught up some time to Simon. Simon on the tail of Gas goes all the way off grid there. I think he got pushed wide a little bit by the Team Cooper driver on the tail of Gas at the moment. He is on the intermediate tires, almost went too fast onto the throttle, making him lose his rear a little bit there. And what I always say, slippery rear. Gas going a little bit deep during that part of the track, and he makes the overtake already. Simon up into P4. What I did not expect was seeing Low Pro and Kelly Kidd fighting back from the back of the grid, currently in P1 and P2. So it's an up and down battle. It's a back and forward battle between, Team Cooper and Team Kelly. And now we've got Team Cuppy trying to find their way through the grid. And they've just come into the pits to go onto the fresh intermediate. So they will be definitely gaining some time to Kelly Kidd and Low Pro. But how many more laps will these tires be going? How many more laps will they be lasting is the big question. Kelly Kidd being on 10-lap-old intermediates. We've got Low Pro being on 14-lap-old intermediates. Douglas, who's dropped back to P8. Unfortunately, he was in P5 at some point during the race. Badger with a 3-second time penalty, and he DNFs from the race. Will that be a safety car? Yes, indeed, it will be a safety car. And now the guys who have not come into the pits yet could come into the pits. Oh, look at that. A lot of raindrops. Is that wet tire weather already? I would say so. Would the guys be coming into the pits to go onto the wet tires? That would be a bold strategy, wouldn't it? Oh, Spanner with a drive-through penalty. We've seen it before from Cooper. But Cooper will be coming into the pits, won't he? Oh, no, he won't be. Why is that? Why are they not coming into the pits? Oh, man. Oh, and Blackout with a drive-through penalty. Ah, but he's in P12 anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. A lot of penalties, too. Look at that. Cooper with a penalty. Gas with a penalty. We've got Mazda with a penalty. Spanner, Kenboy, and Blackout all with a penalty. I hope it's not another drive-through penalty for Cooper. Oh, it is a drive-through penalty. Oh, my days. Oh, Jesus. Oh, and a drive-through penalty for Gas, too. And a drive-through penalty for Spanner. And a drive-through penalty for Blackout. What happened there, guys? What happened there? 6 seconds for Kenboy and 3 seconds for Mazda. Will definitely not be playing into their benefits. But it seems like everyone went on another set of intermediates. And everyone, I don't think anyone will be coming into the pits except for Low Pro and Kelly Kidd. They're already in the pit at the moment. But I think Don will make that overtake anyway, won't he? No, they haven't caught up to... Oh, they haven't caught up to the safety car yet. So Don has to go very, very slow. But he will make that overtake anyway. Kelly Kidd, where will he be dropping back to? I think Gas will stay out of the pits. No, he won't. Neither will Coops, I think. Oh no, Coops stays out. But he didn't gain a single position off that except for his teammate. Huh, very interesting. Simon's still on fresh tires though. But he didn't gain too much time. Don and Simon, who were right behind each other. But Simon only is in P5 at the moment, as he's having an incident with Mazda here. Not sure what happened there. Mazda, who, interestingly enough, decided to not come into the pits. As I'm just going to have a quick look here. Maz on the tail of Simon. And a lot of guys behind the safety car already. 2 more laps behind the safety car is what I'm assuming. And looking at this grid, anything could happen. Don could run away with the race win. Lopro and Kelly could have an incident. Kelly and Coops could have an incident. Coops, who's got that drive-through penalty too. You know, you've got sneaky loser all the way in P9 with fresh intermediates. So is Gas, but he's got a drive-through penalty. No penalties for Douglas. So it could go anyway. And I think usually during those last couple of laps right behind the safety car, drivers are a little bit more aggressive and they will make more mistakes and they will make aggressive moves and all that kind of stuff. They will make more risky moves. And that's I mean, I can't blame them. They want to have a lot of positions during that, well, that they kind of lost during the safety car. For example, Mr. Douglas, he was in P4 or P5 at some point during the race. He sees that he has another opportunity trying to get it within the top 5. He's only in P8, so he needs to gain 3 more positions. And the way you can force that is by moving up and down, side by side, like, no, that's a joke. No, you can just, go down the inside, making an aggressive move, pushing someone wide, up into P7, does the same in P6, does the same in P5, and then he's up into P5, but he might get a penalty off that. But is it worth it? I'm not sure. Because when the guys are coming into the pits at the moment, I don't think they will be coming into the pits, so we're heading into lap 34 out of the 36. But the green car from Blackout hasn't caught up yet. The team green driver hasn't caught up yet. So I'm not sure whether the safety car will come into the pits. I think we will be having 1 more lap behind the safety car. Oh no, the safety car is coming in. Oh, that's so unfortunate for Blackout. But doesn't he have a drive-through penalty? Oh yeah, he does have a drive-through penalty. I just think he came into the pits to serve that drive-through penalty. But he can serve a drive-through penalty during the safety car. All right, so 3 more laps to go after this one. So we've got 34, 35, 36 with Don leading the pack. And what will Lopro be doing? Will he let his teammate go through? That is my biggest question because, Kelly Kid, one of the faster guys here, and there goes Don already. Lopro has got caught off guard. And he's got his teammate right on his tail. Let's have a quick look whether he's going to let him go through. A big gap between Coops and Kelly Kid. 1.7 seconds already. Simon will go down the inside. A lot of ERS has been used by Simon. Down the inside he goes. Coops doesn't leave too much space. Goes off track a little bit. Simon cuts the track and he gains the position. Although 3-second time penalty for gas. And he loses that position again. Simon back into P5. Getting chased from behind by Maza at the moment. And Maza, we've seen it before. He just breaks so late. Look at that. Beautifully done by Maza, but it goes off track again and loses another couple of positions. 1 to Simon. And I mean, I think he definitely could have gained a position to Coops. Coops who now drops a position because he went a little bit too deep, went onto the curb and lost a little bit of time. Now Simon down the inside again, makes that overtake on Coops. Coops with a good exit coming through turn 4. And he loses a bit of time, slides all over the place, and loses position to Maza, loses position to Gas. And might lose one to Douglas too. Yes, indeed, Douglas around the outside. And here comes Sneaky Loser, trying to benefit from that bad streak from Cooper. And what is Cooper doing? He's got to come into the pits anyway, so that doesn't matter too much. And the battle for P1 is real. Don in P1. He just needs to stay strong for 2 more laps. Will he be able to do that? 3-way battle for the lead of the race. It is Kelly Kid on the tail of his teammate Lopro, who wants to run away with that race win. And last week we had a very close race battle, as apparently there was only a couple of hundreds away, or thousands from P1 to P2. And I think that will be the same scenario here today. 2 more laps to go. And it is Lopro trying to go around the outside. Kelly Kid now benefiting from that mistake from his teammate. And up into P2 is Kelly Kid. 4 tenths behind Dom. And this is the moment of the truth. He's just got to patiently wait. And what he can do. Oh, and he goes a little bit too deep. And that will give an opportunity to Don, won't it? No, Kelly Kid very fast on the throttle at the moment. And coming through sector 3 at the moment. You know what the thing is? Kelly Kid just needs to wait for that second main straight. coming out of turn 1. If he has a good exit, he will be able to use a lot of ERS. He's got a lot of ERS saved. Here comes Kelly Kid on the tail of Don. And what will Lopro be doing? He's almost 1 second behind these two, so I don't think he will be battling for that race win anymore. Kelly Kid coming into sector 3. He's losing a little bit of time. Touches that curb quite nice. Here he comes. Uses a lot of ERS, and we're heading into the last lap of the race. Don still holding strong for Team Guppy. And with a good exit coming out of turn 1, he will be able to keep that position. Oh, and it is Kelly with a very, 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 very good exit. Uses a lot of ERS. Around the outside he goes. Catches a little bit of slipstream. Down the inside. He's taking a look down the inside. And he will force Don wide. He will force Don wide. Oh, and they're not making any mistakes. Don with a good exit possibly. Yes, indeed. And Kelly, oh, might have made a little mistake deciding to go for the inside line. He has to go down the inside here or he won't be able to make that move anymore. Don won't be giving up this P1 anymore. Heading into the last sector of the race. Coming into sector 3. Out of the 3. In lap 36. Out of the 36. And Kelly Kid right on the tail of Don. Here they come. 2/10 between both of the drivers. How much ERS does Don have saved? We are not sure. Kelly Kid on the tail of Don. 2/10 separated between each other. And will it be Don taking the lead of the race? It will be Don taking the lead of the race and winning this Grand Prix. Kelly Kid letting his teammate go through, giving back that position. Beautiful sportsmanship from the Team Kelly driver. And Don takes the race win for Team Guppy. See, Douglas moves up to P5 again. And here at the back of the grid, we've got Gas in P10. He's going to lose a position due to that 3-second time penalty, I'm afraid so. Spencer, who just needs to push a little bit more, 2.7 seconds. I think he'll gain that position. So 1 more point for Spencer. Spencer, what am I saying? Spanner. Spencer, am I saying that the whole stream already? Spencer? I'm not sure, actually. And Blackout, last but not least, without a front wing, comes across the line to grab P12. We've had 2 DNFs, so not too bad. P13 and P14. I think that was S. Badger and Mr. Let me have a quick think. Who was the other driver crashing out? I'm not 100% sure. Driver of the day is Douglas. I cannot agree more. He went from P14 all the way to P5. So he's gained 9 positions. Not too bad if you ask me. He's just taking it very strategically for Team Guppy. So Team Guppy will definitely be scoring some good points. Oh, Ferris Wyatt, that was the guy, yeah. So here we've got the standings. Fastest lap goes to Cooper, who came all the way from P2, had 2 drive-through penalties, dropped him to P9. So yeah, here we've got the standings and the results. P1 for Don, P2 for Lopro, and P3 for Kelly Kid. Further, we've got Simon, Douglas, Sneaky Loser, Maza, Kenboy, Cooper, Spanner, Gas, Blackout, S. Badger, and Ferris Wyatt. Both of the drivers at the bottom of the grid did not score any points as they did not finish. Neither did Blackout or Gas. I'm not sure how the point system is here in OMR, but I guess it is what it is. Coops with the fastest lap, as we've said before, and Douglas being the driver of the day. Guys, I would like to thank you guys for watching. This was a very interesting race. You know, last lap battle between Don and Kelly Kid couldn't have been any more exciting. Is that a sentence? I think that is a sentence indeed. And then Kelly Kid giving back that position to Low Pro, scoring, giving him some more points. You know, Kelly Kid being the owner of Team Kelly, and he's just looking out for his teammates. And I don't think that's something we've seen from Team Cooper, because we've seen some crashes between the drivers of Team Cooper. I think it was Gas and S. Badgers causing an incident which made S. Badger crash out someone else. I couldn't remember who it was. But guys, I'm going to finish off the stream here. My name was Phoebe Thomas, and I was your commentator for this race, Season 2, Round 13 of the Austrian Grand Prix here in OMR. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure to check out my Twitch and some other socials, which I have. I would like to thank you very much for watching this live stream, and I will see you guys around. Peace out.